So you pick one player. For example, Ata. I need to guess what player that you have. Yeah. So I'll ask you a question, and I already know it's Ata, so I put down every player, and it has to be.
I feel like I'm drowning in deadlines.
So why don't you use WordTune?
WordTune?
This How to get the most of Grammarly free.
It's Kayla on behalf of Grammarly to tell you all about the free.
Struggled a lot with injuries, so not many people had heard about me or seen much of me because I didn't play many games, to be honest. So probably weren't until Hojlund gave me my debut and I'd played 4 or 5 games where I thought, oh yeah, you know, I can cope with this level, because I had 1 or 2 decent appearances and decent games in that time. So probably around 18.
18. It's funny you say that. There's a quote I picked out of you saying out of position and out of my depth.
Hojlund brought me in as a sort of a right wing back at first, and one of the first starts he gave me was away to Tottenham at White Hart Lane, and I was up against Ginola, and he had too much for me. He had too much power, too much pace, too much strength, and I felt out my depth. And I was saying to him, can I get there? Can I cope playing against, you know, opponents like this? And at the time, you know, there was a lot of games in a short space of time where I struggled, and I think that's where that quote's come from. So I had a lot of self-doubt and insecurity at a young age.
How did you get through that though? Was it the manager helping you through that, asking him questions, him giving you reassurances, or other players, or?
Well, around about that time, Hojlund used to sort of have a lot of one-on-one chats with me, and he said to me, look, he said, you've been mismanaged over the last 18 months off the pitch. He said, you're not doing enough gym work. You're not doing enough work on your legs, on your power, and your upper body is not big and strong enough to cope at the moment. He said, you've got the talent and the ability, but over the next 6 months we're going to be working you so hard off the pitch, because we need to try and build you into a man, because you're a kid in a man's game. I grew up wanting to be a centre midfielder, not so much an attacking midfielder, not so much a defensive midfielder, just wanted to be in the middle. I felt like that's where I could sort of have an influence on the game. That's where I used to enjoy it when I was a kid. But I just wanted to play for Liverpool that much. I was prepared to try any position. I was a bit of a weirdo coming through, really. I was a bit like, I had my heroes in Jamie Redknapp, in Paul Ince, and you know, them type of players, and obviously Barnes and McMahon Whelan before them. But I sort of had a mentality where I sort of wanted to go against them, and I wanted to sort of compete against them in training. So at first I didn't really see them as teammates. I seen them as people who had all the something that I wanted.
Exactly. That mentality is something that I feel is lacking now in this generation. I think that when I came through, you, Frank, people like that, we wanted to embarrass the first team.
Yeah.
Put someone on their bum. Yeah. Make the manager think, well, with this kid, he don't. And that's what I used to hear about you.
But you know, if you're coming into sessions and you're showing Jamie Redknapp and Paul Ince too much respect, they've got the quality to just kill you, and you know, the training session will pass you by, and then before you know it, you're not getting that first team chance. And that's what I was paranoid about and scared about. So I probably went too much the other way and probably put too much into training. I used to train how I played, and I think that's when the staff sort of thought, well, yeah, he can cope, because he's mixing it with these, so he can mix it in the real game, and that's when I got my chance.
So Gerard Hojlund, he made you captain in 2004.
Yeah.
I mean, captain of a club that you support.
Too soon for me. You know, at the time I didn't really feel I had the respect and the personality in the dressing room to be the Liverpool captain. But he obviously seen a different side and thought that was the right time, because that would have helped me, you know, mature and develop even quicker. But I felt a little bit embarrassed at the time taking it off Sammy Hippie, you know, because he'd been so consistent for a couple of years. I had Jamie Carragher in the dressing room. Robbie Fowler was still about, Michael Owen. These are players who I grew up watching and trying to learn off, and they were my heroes for a short space of time. So I just felt it was a little bit too soon, but listen, it was one of the best days of my life getting that captaincy. Because
did you have that moment when you were sitting there thinking, well, what do I do now? Like a bit of uncertainty.
Yeah, it sort of hit home when I got home, and I had that punch of the air moment behind the scenes when you're like, yes, there you go, it's sort of there. But then I thought to myself, well, what do I do different now? You know, how do I speak to him? Has he got the respect for me? You know, he's played a lot more than me, and so I sort of had to grow into it and learn. And I think that's why I become that type of captain that was more try to lead by example and try and do stuff right in and around the training ground, rather than an aggressive leader who I've played with, you know, the likes of Paul Ince. He'd get the best out of you by going against you and trying to motivate you that way, which is another right way to do it. But I went the other way, maybe because I got the captaincy very young.
Well, 2004, Hojlund resigned.
Yeah.
Obviously no trophies that year, and there was murmurs in the press that he wasn't happy with the way the club was going, and then Rafa comes.
Yeah.
And obviously that's followed by great success.
Well, I think obviously we had the success in 2001, and you sort of felt like we were closing that gap to the you know, the big sides in the league and getting close. I think we finished second or third after the treble year. But we made signings in El Hadj Diouf and a few other signings after the World Cup, and you're wondering, you know, are these going to be the signings that take us to the next level? And they never worked. And for me, I'm a little bit naive at times, and maybe I'm too honest, and I said that the signings didn't work, and that's where people say that I was frustrated and stuff. But you know yourself when you're playing for a big club like United or Liverpool. But we made signings in El Hadj.
Well, 2004, Hojlund resigned.
Yeah.
Obviously no trophies that year, and there was murmurs in the press that he wasn't happy with the way the club was going, and then Rafa comes.
Yeah.
And obviously that's followed by great success.
Well, I think obviously we had the success in 2001, and you sort of felt like we were closing that gap to the, you know, the big sides in the league and getting close. I think we finished second or third after the treble year. But we made signings in El Hadj Diouf and a few other signings after the World Cup, and you're wondering, you know, are these going to be the signings that take us to the next level? And they never worked. And for me, I'm a little bit naive at times, and maybe I'm too honest, and I said that the signings didn't work, and that's where people say that I was frustrated and stuff. But you know yourself when you're playing for a big club like United or Liverpool, if there's no trophies and the gap's getting bigger and you're falling far away, change has to happen.
So would you say is your favourite manager that you've played under at Liverpool?
Well, I think as far as love and support is concerned, definitely Hojlund. You know, he was like more like a father figure. He used to look after me on and off the pitch. I get on very well with Brendan. He's a great man manager. Roy Hodgson as well. But for some reason, I just think Rafa sort of brought the best out of me.
Mourinho, is there any regrets not working underneath him? A great manager who's won many things in many different countries.
Listen, I love the manager, I love the man. I've had a distant relationship with him for many years, but I have regrets for not playing for the man and the coach, because I know he would have made me a better player. I know he would have added more trophies to what I've already won. But looking back now, I have no regrets not signing for Chelsea. I don't regret not signing for Chelsea at all. I'm actually happy with the decisions that I made. You know, the connection I've got with Liverpool, my hometown club. Yeah, I've probably maybe underachieved at times in certain years with Liverpool, but for me, it is all about winning trophies, but it's also about memories and your love and what them memories meant to you. And me winning 4 or 5 trophies with Liverpool mean an awful lot more to me if I'd won 10, 11 at Chelsea. What kept me at Liverpool when I was close to making the decision whether to stay is my dad's a big Liverpool fan, my brother, all my friends, and when I win for Liverpool, I share it with people that are really close to me, and not many people will understand that. You know, especially in the media, I've had a lot of criticism or people saying, you know, he should have went to Chelsea, he should have went here.
I'm one of them. I was always one of the like, well, I'd be gone if I hadn't won for a couple of years. I'd be wanting to go, but. Yeah. I wasn't still at West Ham where I've got that tie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I can understand sitting here speaking to you now that why you done it and why you're still proud and pleased that you make the right decision.
Yeah. Well, I am biased towards Liverpool. I think, you know, in certain games I've been too biased and showed too much loyalty or whatever. But for me, I knew I always wanted to come home. I always want to go and watch Liverpool. You know, I'll have season tickets now for forever and ever. And I knew if I'd have gone to Chelsea or anyone else for that matter at that time, I'd have maybe a risk losing that. And I'd been there since I was 8 and it was too much to let go.
Yeah. FA Cup final versus West Ham, Istanbul, big moments, big games. Steven Gerrard steps up, Roy over stuff. How does that happen?
I don't know. I've had some really good moments at good times. For Liverpool, it's difficult to describe how it happens or whatever. I think every player has their moments that define them, and for me the lows and how you feel, the hurt and the pain from a low or a setback has helped me work even harder and sort of get to them moments. I don't think them moments come unless you suffer or you hurt or you get disappointed along the way as well.
So, like you're talking about hurts, obviously the 2013-14 season, you were going for the league. I remember watching you on the TV when you had the huddle after the City game.
Yeah.
And thinking, well, they got the bit between the teeth now, they could go on to win it. And then the game against Chelsea happened, and then you lost the league. Because if you draw that game,
I think our tactical approach was probably inexperienced for the whole game. You know, I think because we were on a good run and in good form, And no fault to Brendan at all. We sort of went in with the same tactics, you know. We heard Chelsea maybe making a few changes and we actually had the confidence we can go and blow them away, but I think we sort of underestimated the power of Mourinho. You know, he came and he spoilt the game, he ruined it. He had them very hard to beat, he played all the units, he spoilt the game, and he even said after when he was quoted, we came to spoil the party, and he got the tactics spot on. The slip happened at a bad time. It was cruel for me personally, and you know, there's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about what if that didn't happen. Would things have been different? Would it have turned out different? Maybe it might have, I don't know. It happened after half an hour and we still had the time to get the draw we needed, and the inexperience showed from myself, having not been in many title races, the inexperience of the team. Our reaction was to go and chase it and hunt it down and try and make up for that cruel moment, and we lost our way. We went gung-ho instead of being more controlled and maybe just, you know, being a little bit more calculated in the way we went about it for the equaliser.
How do you deal mentally with such a situation like that? Because with all social media nowadays and the exposure now is massive.
Listen, I think you've got to be thick-skinned and take a bit of criticism along the way. I'm not scared of any criticism or any cruelty. I understand the moment and the impact it had, and it kills me, don't get me wrong, inside it kills me, and it will do for a long time. I think to myself, if I'd have got that league, it'd have been the icing on the cake. But what helps me with it is I've got the cake. You know, I've achieved a lot of dreams with a team that has never ever been the favourite. I've had some incredible moments for a young kid from a council estate, and I've got memories, good memories that'll live with me forever, but that is one moment that will always hurt me till the day I go. And it's because if I'd have got that moment, I'd have achieved every dream at Liverpool, and that's the one that I just haven't gotten. It honestly, as a man, it hurts.
So obviously, like you say, you didn't get that last cherry on the top. What was the final ingredient you think you guys were missing over the years? There were different moments.
I think inexperience. I think we had a fantastic team. You know, we had Suarez, who was possibly the best player in the world at the time on current form. I just felt when we'd had a couple of stupid slips and defeats throughout the season, which you don't really think are going to hurt you because you're still in a good position towards the end, but over the 38 games there was a couple of, you know, bad performances and slip-ups that we made early on in the season. I just think draws at home against sides that we went in and thought you just have to turn up and beat. The experience maybe from the staff to sort of treat every game exactly the same as if it's Man U every single week, because we've always done reasonably well against the bigger teams because you don't have to motivate the team for them. Everyone wants to win them, but we've always struggled against maybe a Fulham at home or a West Brom at home when they come and they park the bus, and we haven't got that little bit of magic to open them up.
At Manchester United's training complex, Carrington, this is where I used to train when I was a player. I'm here to meet a few of my old teammates, Darren Fletcher and Johnny Evans, and the manager, Mr. Erik ten Hag. Follow me. Kath, put the boxes down. Jesus. How you doing?
Hello, darling.
Hi, you alright? How you doing? How you doing? You good? Yes, you look better than ever.
Jesus. What, pardon?
You look better than ever.
I'm getting old,
Hey?
kid. I'm getting old, but just seeing you's enough.
Do you remember when you ever saw me come here or not? Remember you meet so many people.
Oh, yeah, I remember the boss bringing you in. Then, this is real. Yeah.
Where are they? How'd you do this?
No.
Hello guys, how you doing? It's Rio here. Do you need any help? As you turn it up. See, when I turn up, I just roll about.
Would you mind signing for you, so making it out to Usain, yeah.
All right. Usain, this is for you, bro. We've had a few good nights out, me and Usain, by the way. Cool.
Amazing.
No worries.
Thank you, Rio.
In return, Usain, I'd like to have the shoes that you wore when you broke the world record in the Olympics delivered to the Carrington complex, please, with my name on it. Or the shirt, the vest that you wore, simple, anything like that would be great, okay? Or the medal, whatever one you want. Cheers.
Rio,
hey.
I'm sure you want to do this?
Of course, always.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Very good, thank
you.
you.
Good to see you. I'm going to put my coat on because it's freezing. I'm trying to act cool, but I can't. The weather up north is different. The standards was a big thing when we was here. Who's the guy that sets the standard every day in training? We used to have like Scholesy was the best every day.
Yeah,
every day the best. Who would you say now is the one that, if the standard's a little bit low, but he's always consistently there?
That is more players, but Rafa Varane, Casemiro, Bruno, Licha Martinez. When he is on the training pitch, he's always brilliant. He is always front foot. He's always so switchable and want to win in every even small deal.
Yeah, I love that. It's crazy. You need that. Just to go back to even, I've been here today and I've bumped into so many people from the past. How is that for you? Do you encourage players who played before to come in and?
In my time, I always encourage this.
Yeah.
That former players coming in, and because we are one family, and also the history bring in the DNA, and they can help us, and they can be supportive. That the players they like it, and of course they not always like that they get criticism from former players because.
Like me.
Like you. Of course they don't like. But I know why you are doing. Because you want the best for this club. And it hurts when this club is not winning. You want to help them. But of course I think also you guys have to understand that I think it's a difference. When you're in your time, of course, and there was a big exposure. But nowadays it's different. But it's so huge, so much more, and these guys have to deal with it. And you want the best for this club, and of course, but then give them support and criticize it, but also in a positive way.
The heritage and the culture of this football club is steeped in kind of the history of bringing young players through, and I think you've continued that with the likes of Garnacho coming from the academy, Mainu, among other players, but they're the two main ones at the moment. How have you found bringing those guys in, and was you really aware of that when you signed here?
I think we did incredible